Welcome to the Flex Forward podcast, where grit meets growth. With your host, Nick Espanet, bringing you stories of resilience, reinvention, and the real climb to success.
All right, everyone, welcome to the Flex Forward podcast. Today, we're joined by Danny Bush. Danny is the founder of Fun on the Run Plus One and an AI specialist. I can't wait to hear more about what all that entails. Danny, welcome to the Flex Forward podcast. Can you let our listeners know a little more about you and kind of what you do at Fun on the Run Plus One?
It's a tongue twister, right?
Yes.
So, I am Danny, the founder and CEO of Fun on the Run Plus One. And we are a mobile app that combats loneliness and isolation by connecting people instantly over shared interests, likes, and hobbies. And we also built and developed our own predictive AI that assesses users' mental health and then suggests activities for them to do instantly with others. And so the entire goal and premise of Fun on the Run is to get people from out of the virtual spaces and back connecting in person, genuinely over what they really, truly love.
Oh, I love hearing that. It's awesome because you hear all the negative about social media or AI and how people are just get laser focused on and not talking to people. But I love how your app and your company is getting people back to connecting, because I think that is so important, of people getting out and talking with other people and relationships.
We're putting the AI to work instead of the AI. We're putting the AI to work for us.
That's awesome. I love it. So in the app space or connecting space, there's probably quite a bit of competition. What is something that sets you guys apart to get you? How are you getting connected with more people and getting more users?
That's a wonderful question. So one of the things that we noticed during COVID and especially post-COVID is just a lot of the loneliness and isolation in the spaces that people were forced to communicate in, which is those virtual spaces. And what we did differently is we created our app to use push alerts to connect people instantly. And so the concept technically isn't new, right? You see it with Uber, you see it with Uber Eats, but we got our patent in November, and what we were able to get our patent for is using the push alerts to connect people instantly. It hadn't been done in a social space, so that was our window of that was our opportunity to do something different than what's being done in the market right now. And again, it allows our users to connect with anyone, no matter where you are, anytime, any place. And you're allowed to connect with individuals and also groups. So you get to control the number of people, and when you want to meet up with them and what you want to meet about.
That's awesome. I mean, that's a great entrepreneurial story, is finding where there's a need and then filling that need. And I'm sure you like the social part too, so it probably helps, being involved. So what a great story, how you got there. As you've gone along your journey, was there something that you found easier, maybe that other people may have found more challenging?
Oh gosh, that's a interesting question. I don't know if I even have an answer to that. I will say, I think what's easier is just putting your foot forward and doing it. And whatever that concept or idea that you have is doing it, right? Sometimes it can seem far-fetched, or it may seem like your dream is so big that it'll be hard for people to get on board. But when you actually put pen to paper and take that first step into what you believe is, and what you're passionate about, I think it was easier to do it as opposed to just thinking about it and saying, okay, this is a solution, and then always telling people about it and not actually bringing it to life.
Well, that's awesome. It kind of is that old saying of how to eat a well or an elephant or whatever, one bite at a time, is just taking that first step and getting going. And I think being okay with making mistakes and then correcting, because you're very rarely going to walk the exact perfect line to what your goal is. You're going to need to make corrections. So being okay with failing, but figuring out, getting up, dusting yourself off, and figuring out how to resolve that issue.
Yeah, most definitely. Having thick skin. That's a great point that you bring up, because not everyone is going to be on board for your particular solution. And you have to always think that, obviously we want our solution to be the best for everyone in the world, but everyone is not always going to be on board for it. So you have to have thick skin.
Oh, yeah.
And always know, like, stand firm on what you believe in for your product.
Sure.
Otherwise, you'll keep changing every day based upon everyone's feedback. So identifying who you're genuinely and truly going after and really solving that problem for them. And I believe we've done that really well with Fun on the Run, just really honing in on loneliness and isolation and what it does and why it makes people feel so isolated and depressed, and then you get anxiety and have issues with even connecting. And I think we've honed in on that, but really thick skin is definitely needed because otherwise you will fold really quickly.
Sure, so being persistent. I'm thinking with that thick skin is don't let people beat you down or pull you down. Kind of that old and out, like the crabs in a bucket. When crabs are you're trying to climb out
Yeah,
and somebody grabs your foot and pulls you back down. Don't let another crab pull you back
for
into the
sure.
bucket. That
Yeah,
you can.
one of the things too was even when we started building the predictive AI, right? So I had a therapist that I worked with that I, see daily, not daily, but enough. And
Regularly.
I brought this concept to him and he was like, gosh, can we do that? And so he brought in one of his other colleagues. And I mean, to even get them to think about doing something that they hadn't even
Hmm.
thought about, and then this gives the ability to us to now be able to connect with people from a mental health perspective, because that was another big challenge that we saw. And it's another thing my app does that other apps aren't doing. We're tapping into the mental health component and challenge and struggles that a lot of people face now due to the new current circumstances of how we live our day-to-day lives. And that was such an amazing accomplishment and feat for us to be able to build a model ourselves that could assess our users' mental health and suggest activities for them to do to get them out of that rut that they may be in at that time.
Well, I think that's awesome because we are battling, either Instagram, Facebook, all these things, and they have lots of scientists and IT people that get you. you know, I can fall into it. I've taken them off my phone because I want to look for
Yep.
a couple of minutes, 20 minutes. Like I've just been sitting here looking at people, not
Yep.
even, and probably 85% of it's not real, and, or whatever there's probably true percentage of a lot of it is a fake, fake news or fake, even post of different things, to get, it's so wonderful. You're trying to utilize some of that same technology, but to get people back together and out of their computer world.
Exactly. That is the entire goal, to get people from behind their screens out of the virtual spaces and connected. And then I always believe, like Jen, what home is what's connecting to you, right? So for instance, like our app has a plethora of activities. So if you are a foodie, if you're a person that loves basketball, if you're a person that loves movies, if you're a person that's in the anime, right? We want to get you connected with those people. And that's where the genuine connection happens. Because if I know I'm meeting you with something that we both love and enjoy, we have something we can connect over. And that's a lot of times where that genuine connection happens. And that's the goal, to continue to help build community with people over their shared interest. And that, will be the drive to get people out from behind their screens and connecting in person.
Well, that's so awesome because it's not necessarily a dating app. It's to get with maybe friends to be able to go and hang out with the anime or sports or whatever their thing that they like to do.
Yeah, it has
Maybe it's
no dating
painting
undertone at
or
all. No
yeah.
dating undertone. But that's the fun thing, right? It's flexible. It can really be what you want it. We have, like I said, like today, I want to go network with some friends, and I'll be in Dallas. So I'll be able to go on my app and I'll send out a push alert and it'll say, "Hi, Danny is out on the run having some fun, looking for plus one who wants to join. I'm looking to connect with about 10 girls." So that push alert will go out. When those 10 girls accept the push alert, I can see who they are. Once I confirm them, they'll get the address and we can just meet up instantly. And it's like that for all of the activities that we have in the app. So whatever your fun is, whatever your thing is, we say at Folder, we call it Folder for short. So to help you with the tongue twister, we say at Folder, people are the resource for people. So we need each other. We need each other to connect. We need each other to genuinely build those bonds. And so this is the catalyst to do that for us.
That's awesome. That's so I can't wait to share this with people and even get that myself. So, it sounds like you've had a lot of success. So as people are, what is something that you've used in life to help you become better at, either just life or coding or not coding, but AI stuff? Anything you've done to learn podcasts or books or anything along those lines?
Yeah, I've done a lot of when it comes down to AI, I've learned a lot about AI and just the integrity that we need to have as people who are using it as tools for people to, live better lives. Because it's like a wild, wild west in
Mm,
the social space when it comes to AI. And so I hold the integrity of my community, of the folder users, really near and dear to my heart. So how we use it and to make sure it's predicting accurately is very important. So I've had to learn about AI. I've had to learn about, the different models. I've had to learn about how to train it and how to get it predicting, how to, even learn more about human behavior. And then from an investor standpoint, as an entrepreneur coming into tech space, I've been in the IT industry for over 10 years. I've helped big companies bring up $1 billion data centers. But now I'm doing it for myself, and it's a lot that you learn, and you have to meet a lot of people. And again, you have to already have this decision in your heart, mind, and spirit that this is what I believe in and I'm passionate. Because if you go, I ran into kind of reading people's body language, and sometimes if they would look disinterested, then it would discourage me, right? But that's
you'd
not
feed
the
off
energy.
of it.
Yeah, right. And so I would have to kind of give myself a pep talk every time and go in and say, no, this is the solution that you need. This is what will help people connect. This is something that you are building to end loneliness. And my app has this really cool feature because once you connect, you are able to communicate with the people that have accepted your activity. So you're all in the chat space now communicating about that activity. So our goal is to keep everyone actively connected. So we've had opportunities for white label opportunities, different organizations come in and say, hey, can you develop and build a white label version of your app for our community? So just to see that people see the vision and understand the need is amazing.
That's awesome. How long is your how long have you been in business?
So I started, I would like to say maybe officially like in 2022.
Okay. So,
I had the vision for a while. It goes way back in during Katrina. Uh, you know, one of the challenges they ran into is they couldn't find us. And I remember thinking way back then, why aren't they using geomapping? Why aren't they using that push alert technology, right, to find
hmm
us? And that thought always stayed with me. And you fast forward into COVID, and I have a kid who's always in the hospital, and I would be isolated. And I thought again, like, gosh, it would be good if I could just send a push alert to connect, right? Connection.
hmm
That's that key word there. And so it's been kind of growing in me all this long time, but 2021 is really when I put the pedal to the metal and went full blast on it.
So you're 3-ish years or 3 to 4
Yeah.
years. That's awesome. What a great growth, great story. So what is one of the biggest challenges you had to overcome?
People getting people's buy well, funding for one, right? Because people, when I wanted to build this, people are essentially funding an idea. Whereas when you have a product, it's more easier for people, and we're visible. We're
hmm They
a
can hold it
creature
or
of
something. Yeah.
exactly. So I had to get good at storytelling so I could, build up the climax to what it is we're doing and why we're doing it. So funding was very challenging. But there were creative ways to go around it, and I'm still rounding. I'm still fundraising to get everything just excellent in the way that I needed to be. Funding was a challenge, and then also getting people to buy into connecting instantly, right? And so the way I would look at it, I go, guys, don't overcomplicate it. You are already connecting with people using Eventbrite. You're already connecting with people using your dating apps, right? So people are already connecting. So this is not a new concept, or but how we're doing it is new. So just introducing people to the new way of connecting using those push alerts, definitely educating and finding the quickest and best way to do it, definitely was something that was challenging in the beginning and even still now. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. You're overcoming them. And I can see you have a vision, you have a desire, and things have happened in your life that kind of brought all these pieces and visions together. And now you've put all those pieces together. And that's what a great story. Love hearing it. And
Thank
it
you.
sounds like things are starting to really go well. And so entrepreneur myself, I know sometimes where you have to work on the business quite a bit and you do pretty well with it, but you always have to be present. Before I got into what the commercial real estate I'm doing now as a PT, and I had to see patients to have an income. And what I've seen some folks starting to, as they start to look towards the future, they start thinking of other ways to produce income where they don't have to put in as many hours.
Yeah.
So they'll start exploring maybe outside investments, outside of their normal work. Is that anything you've ever thought about?
Yeah, definitely. Exploring different, even funding myself, even getting extra jobs to fund it myself. I was listening to Mark Cuban and, he said something one day and it resonated with me. He was like, as an entrepreneur, you got to get it done. If that means bartending, if that means getting a bartending license and finding really cool parties and that's what I've had to do, really just kind of get back to that old school, getting my hands dirty, hustling to fundraise and get the funding that I needed.
Awesome. Well, yeah, that's what, as an entrepreneur, you got to do, do what you have to do. Maybe people ask, what would you have done different? It's like, well, if I could go backwards, there's a time where I would have probably sold everything I had and lived in a box for a couple of years to buy more real estate, but at the right time. But, it's learning and being able to hustle and grind. That's awesome to hear. So as for wrapping up the interview, do you have any exciting plans or initiatives in the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, so we've made partnerships with the Dallas Mavericks, UTD, TCU, which have been very rewarding for us. And also we secured a partnership with Amazon and we will be hosting their annual event in February. So we're looking forward to that. We have a few more checkpoints that we have to clear off as it relates to compliance. So, other things that you learn as an entrepreneur, right? So as we go down that journey, just looking forward and then going into March, we'll be at South by Southwest. And we're hoping, I'm from New Orleans, but I've been in Texas now for over 10 years. And I'm really hoping for the support of the people for an app that I feel supports the people. So looking forward to people using it, feedback, input, all the good things to help this app really grow and be as successful as I know it will be.
Well, it sounds to me like you're moving in the right direction. You're making a lot of the right connections, and I think you're really about to take off. And so I'm excited for you and to hear what, kind of see where things, I'll keep following you. I'm going to connect on LinkedIn, follow how you're doing. So I'm excited for you. So thank you so much for taking time out of your day to share tips and insights. If our listeners would like to, one, get your app, where do they find it? Two, how will they connect with you, maybe to find out more about what you're doing and if just to connect?
Great question. So actually you can find us on our Instagram or on our website. If you go on our Instagram, it's Fun on the Run +1, and we have our link to download the app there. And then also you can go on my website, www.funontherun.co, and you can also send a request. I have a meeting link there. So if you want to meet, connect, talk, you can connect with me there as well. All of my contact details are there, phone number, business email, all of those good things. And I'll be available to connect and talk and really dive into what we're doing at Fun on the Run +1.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Danny. It's been great visiting with you today and learning more about Fun on the Run +1. Everybody, thank you for listening. Be sure to like and share this episode and keep coming back and pass along Danny's app. This sounds like something awesome. I think it really help people getting to connect and just getting out there, meeting people and getting out of their little private spaces so much.
Thank you, Nick. I really appreciate your time. This has been awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Glad to have you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right.
Thanks for listening to the Flex Forward podcast. If you've got grit, growth, and a great story, visit flexforwardpodcast.com/guest to apply and join us on the show.